The weaver looked up from her work. The sun had moved. The light on the floor had changed. The cup of water by her bench was almost gone. Her hands had been steady. Her breath had been quiet. The feeling tones had risen and passed. But she noticed now, looking back across the morning, that her mind had been many things. For a while it had been restless, pushing at the work, wanting to be done. For a while it had been narrow, fixed on a small irritation in a single thread. For a while it had been quite wide, open to the sound of the birds outside, to the warmth in the room, to the simple pleasure of the rhythm. For a while it had been almost completely absent. The hands had kept moving, but the mind had wandered off and only just now returned. And not one of these, she could see clearly, had been her. They had each been a mind state, passing through her morning like clouds pass through a sky that does not become them. The Buddha called this citta, the mind. Not as a substance, not as a self, the mind as a quality, the mind as a state, arising and passing, moment by moment. This is the third foundation of mindfulness, Cittanupassana, mindfulness of the mind. The teaching is direct. When the mind has greed in it, know, the mind has greed. When the mind is free of greed, know, the mind is free of greed. When the mind has aversion in it, know, the mind has aversion. When the mind is free of aversion, know, the mind is free of aversion. When the mind is confused, know, the mind is confused. When the mind is clear, know, the mind is clear. A contracted mind, known as contracted. A spacious mind, known as spacious. A scattered mind, a collected mind. A small mind, a great mind. A bound mind, a liberated mind. In each case, the same instruction. Know it as it is. Notice the way this is said. Not, I am greedy, but the mind has greed in it. Not, I am angry, but there is aversion in the mind right now. This small shift in language is not a trick, it is the practice. Because what we usually call, I am angry, is the moment the chain has already locked, the moment the state of mind has become a self, and the self has set out to defend or to act on or to be ashamed of something that was only ever a passing weather. When you can say, instead, there is anger in the mind, the weather is still there, but you are no longer fused to it. A small distance opens. It is not a distance of indifference. It is the distance, precisely, that allows clear seeing. The mind is a state. You are not the state. You are the one quietly knowing it. The weaver let herself look. A few minutes ago, the mind had been restless. She did not blame it. She just knew. The mind was restless then. A little later, the mind had narrowed onto a flaw in the weave. She did not call herself fussy. She just knew. The mind was narrow there. Now, in this moment, the mind was quite open. She did not grasp at it. She just knew. The mind is open now. And in that knowing, the open mind did not have to become a special thing that had to be defended or photographed or made to last. It could simply be the mind, open for this moment. And when it changed, the mind changed for the next. This is the gift of Cittanupassana. The qualities of mind that used to feel like you begin to feel like states. Greed comes, greed goes. Kindness comes, kindness goes. Confusion comes, clarity returns. And the one who watches does not have to be carried away by any of them. Look at your own mind now. Is there a reaching in it, a pushing, a narrowness, a spaciousness? Is the mind gathered tightly around one anxious thought, or wide, holding everything at once? Is there a brightness, a heaviness, a hum of distraction, or a quiet of attention? Whatever it is, you can know it, not as something to fix, not as something that defines you, just as the quality of mind in this moment, which will not be the quality in the next. The weaver returned to her loom. Her shoulders were settled. Her breath was quiet. The tones rose and fell. The mind moved through its weather, restless, narrow, open, absent, present, and she knew each one softly as it passed. In the next episode, we move to the fourth and final foundation, mindfulness of mental objects, the patterns themselves, the hindrances that obstruct, the factors that awaken, the truths the whole path turns on. If even one mind state today has been seen as a state and not as a self, the practice has reached you. Please subscribe and walk this path with us. The mind will keep moving, but the one who watches it need no longer be moved with it.